What is up guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Noman and today's analysis video is going to be about the Premier League game between Chelsea and West Brom. So Chelsea lined up in a 4-2-3-1 formation with Timo Werner playing at the left wing with the freedom to move to the central areas. And Chelsea changed their formation to a 4-2-4 and also to a back 3 in the second half. While West Brom on the other hand lined up in a 3-5-2 formation which was mostly 5-4-1 on the ground. The game plans of both the teams were very clear right from the first minute. Chelsea were going to dominate possession while West Brom were happy to sit back and take their chances on transitions. Chelsea's front four were playing very narrow in this game, and that was forcing West Brom's defense to get narrow. This way Chelsea were able to create acres of space on the wide areas for their fullbacks to move up and help Chelsea in the attacking phase. Reece James and Marcos Alonso were able to find so much space on the wide areas, and they kept delivering crosses inside the box for the front four of Chelsea. And whenever the West Brom wingbacks stepped out to cover the Chelsea fullbacks, Mason Mount and Kai Havertz immediately attacked the spaces behind the West Brom wingbacks to force the centre-back out of their positions to create a 3v3 position for Chelsea in the goal box. Narrow front four, keeping the defense very narrow, and they are giving so much space on the wide areas to the Chelsea fullbacks to play crosses inside the box. Mason Mount has positioned himself in between the centre-back and the wing-back. This way Mason Mount is keeping the wing-back narrow, and he is giving space to Reece James to move up and deliver a cross inside the box. Mason Mount is keeping the wing-back narrow to create space for Reece James, and Tammy Abraham should have scored the goal. This time the wingback steps out to cover Reece James, and Kai Havertz immediately signals Reece James to play the ball in between the lines. Reece James to Kai Havertz, and Kai's one-touch pass to Mason Mount, and the wingback is easily taken out. Kai Havertz drops in between the lines to receive the ball from Reece James, and he pulls the centre-back out of his position and plays a one-touch pass to Mason Mount. And with just one simple pass, Chelsea are able to eliminate both the wingback and the centre-back. Both the wingback and the centre-back are easily taken out, and Mason Mount now has the chance to deliver a first-time cross inside the box for the ones of Timo Werner and Tammy Abraham. The wingback once again steps out to cover Reece James, and Mason Mount is again free to receive the ball in the half space. Mason Mount receives the ball behind the wingback, and once again, three Chelsea players are ready to attack the cross. This overload on the right side was one of the major reasons why Chelsea mostly attacked from the right side in this game. Mason Mount was keeping his width on the right side, so whenever Reece James moved up, Chelsea were able to isolate the West Brom wingback in a 2v1 position, while Timo Werner on the other hand was playing very close to Tammy Abraham, almost like a secondary striker. So whenever Marcos Alonso moved up, Chelsea could not create the same overload on the left side, because Alonso had no support from his winger. And this is why 42% of Chelsea's attacks in this game actually came from the right side, where Reece James and Mason Mount were able to create constant overloads against the West Brom wingback. If we try to analyze Chelsea's passing map, we can clearly see how isolated Marcos Alonso was on the left side, and how most of the Chelsea attacks were built from the right side. Chelsea were just looking to pass the ball to Reece James and Mason Mount on the right side, who would play a first-time cross inside the box. And this was actually very surprising, because if you see the first two games of West Brom, you will see that they conceded most of the goals from the right side of their defense. And yet, somehow Chelsea decided to attack the left side of their defense. And this was the difference in the first and the second half. When Frank Lampard decided to introduce a natural winger in the game, Chelsea started attacking the right side of West Brom's defense. And all three goals of Chelsea in the second half came from the right side of West Brom's defense. Since the Chelsea fullbacks were playing very high up the ground, so West Brom had so much space on the wide areas to catch Chelsea on transitions. And Slaven Bilic decided to keep Robinson and Pereira high and wide to exploit those wide areas on transitions. With possession, both Marcos Alonso and Reece James were moving up to help Chelsea in the offense. Kovacic is going to lose possession here, and Chelsea are in trouble. Kovacic lost possession, both the Chelsea fullbacks are taken out, and Pereira is now ready to attack the wide space. Both the Chelsea fullbacks are taken out, and West Brom now have a 3v2 situation on the transition. Reece James is nowhere to be seen, and Andreas Christensen is left in a 1v2 position, but luckily for Chelsea, Christensen actually did a very good job and he was able to stop the attack. Just look at the open spaces around the two Chelsea centre-backs. Chelsea were actually lucky not to concede more than 3 goals, because West Brom had some very good chances on transitions. Chelsea made 3 mistakes in the first half, and West Brom were able to score 3 goals, and they were 3-0 up by the end of the first half. First mistake: very poor header from Alonso to give away possession in Chelsea's defensive third. Second mistake: Thiago Silva gave away possession very cheaply in Chelsea's defensive third. Third mistake: Marcos Alonso was the one responsible for man-marking Bartley, but Alonso completely lost track of Bartley and Chelsea conceded the third goal. So this was the first league game when Timo Werner was playing alongside a proper number 9. Timo Werner was playing very close to Tammy Abraham, almost like a secondary striker. And because of Tammy Abraham's runs, Timo Werner was actually able to find small pockets of space in the West Brom goal box. Tammy Abraham drops deep, he pulls the centre-back out of his position, and Timo Werner immediately tries to attack the central space. But Tammy Abraham's pass to Kai Havertz was not a good one, and Chelsea missed a great chance. Once again, Tammy Abraham tries to attack the 6-yard box, and he forces the defense to fall back. And Timo Werner is once again trying to use the run of Tammy Abraham to his benefit to find space at the edge of the goal box. Looking to heavily attack the left side of West Brom's defense in the first half was actually a very strange decision, as the results clearly show how vulnerable the right side of their defense is. But it was good to see the coaching staff making the right decisions at the halftime, and introducing a left winger in the game who played a huge part in Chelsea's comeback. It was good to see the players not losing their heads after going 3-0 down and fighting until the very last minute. But Chelsea clearly needs to improve a lot. Thank you so much guys for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.